Good morning, guys. I want to start off today's lesson with an apology. I saw the way that yesterday's video, Get Fed, worked, and it didn't. I saw the responses to the questions I gave you, and a lot of you guys were still confused. And so I'm going to redo this video. I'm going to go back to the same concepts and present them in a different way. And I want this to be an example to you because you guys are going to go through problems like this in your life where you do something and it doesn't work out the way you wanted. And this is the approach that you take. You take a look back at it and you think, okay, what things did I do that worked well? And you keep those. What things did I do that didn't work well? And you get rid of those. And then what things did I not try that I could try this time that might make it better? That's the way you approach a problem. You don't give up on it. You don't pass it by. You look back and you figure out, how could I do it better? The title of the video is Get Fed. So how do I get fed? Well, I take bites, I get fed, I got food, but there's a whole series of processes involved in that. First, I can't make my own food. I have to get it from somewhere else. I need a producer for that. A producer is an organism that can make its own food. So this plant is a producer. It gets the matter it needs from its environment. It takes things like carbon dioxide from the air, it soaks up water through its roots in the soil, and it soaks up sunlight to capture energy. And with these things, it uses it to create molecules for sugars for food. A producer is an organism that can take energy from the environment, usually sunlight, and use that to turn non-food items into food items. Photosynthesis is the process of adding carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight to make food. I'm a consumer. I can't make my own food. A consumer is an organism that can't make its own food, so it needs to eat other organisms that do make their own food. Consumers eat producers. Consumers can also eat other consumers that eat producers. All predators are consumers. Question time. Where do producers get their food? They make it themselves. Where do consumers get their food? They eat someone else. Plants use photosynthesis to get food. They make glucose, which is a sugar, which is a food. There's some misconception here about where a plant gets its energy. The same process of photosynthesis is not where the plant gets its energy. Photosynthesis is a process that the plant makes its food. The food is the source of the energy, but it's a storage place for it. It's captured energy, but it's not usable. So where do plants get their energy? They get it from their food. They eat the food that they made. They make it, they eat it. It's two separate processes. Question time. Where do producers get their food? They make it. Where do producers get their energy? They eat their food. Where do consumers get their energy? They eat food. All organisms need energy. All organisms need food. All organisms get their energy from food. All organisms use food. All organisms use energy from food for growth and reproduction. Question time. Again, how do organisms get their food? Question time. How do producers get their food? Photosynthesis. This is the process. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 molecules of water. Add some sunlight and you have 1 molecule of glucose, sugar, which is food, and 6 molecules of oxygen. It's like we've taken packets of energy from the sun and hidden them in the bonds of the glucose molecule. But how do we get the energy out of that when we need it? It eats. We eat. We get the energy out by a process called cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. All living things are made of cells. All cells use cellular respiration to get energy out of food. So this is the process of photosynthesis. We have 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water. We mix it all together in the leaf and add some sunshine, shake it up, and we end up with 1 glucose molecule plus 6 extra molecules of oxygen gas. Now, when an organism wants to eat this glucose molecule, it needs that oxygen gas back, which is one of the reasons why we breathe oxygen. We have to put the oxygen back in with the glucose molecule inside the cell, inside the mitochondria. We shake it up, mitochondria does its magic, and our waste product becomes a little bit of water, a little bit of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, and 1 little packet of energy. We call this ATP, but we'll talk about that next year. This all takes us back to a tiny little machine inside the cell called a mitochondria. And this brings me to one of my favorite old books. This is Gray's Anatomy. Gray's Anatomy is a medical book that's been published since the 1850s. This one is a 1930 edition that my grandfather had when he was in school. It has one of my favorite quotes because they were just learning about the cell and they didn't know everything about it. They knew that mitochondria were something inside a cell. They found lots of them whenever they looked inside cells, but they didn't know what they were for. In fact, one of the quotes here says, the mitochondria are the most constant type of granule, meaning they're everywhere, and their function is unknown. In 1930, we didn't even know what they were. 2020, now you're middle school students, you're learning about mitochondria, you're learning that these are the powerhouse of the cell. They take cellular respiration as the process to break down sugars and release energy from them. You get to know that. That's how far we've come. Question time. How do producers get food? They make it using photosynthesis. Question time. How do consumers get energy out of food? Cellular respiration. Bonus question. How do producers get their energy out of food? Same thing. Cellular respiration. That's it for today, guys. Have a great day.